Hello guys, welcome back to the second video in our introduction to computer vision series. So we're using opencv. So in this tutorial we're going to go ahead and learn about how to resize images, how to rotate images, and how to crop images using opencv in Python. So the first we're going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure the virtual environment is activated. And if your virtual environment is activated, just go ahead and feel free to open up your favorite text editor. In this case we're using VS Code, so I'm just going to go back to VS Code. Okay, so having a file here, I just close that file up. Okay, so once I have this, I'm going to go ahead and create the file and it's going to be called basic underscore 0 sorry, this is going to be basic underscore 02.py. okay, underscore.py, and then that's the file we want to open. So once we have this file open, instead of this file we're going to go ahead and import our opencv. Okay, so I'm going to say import cv2, just like that. So once we have opencv imported, I'm going to go ahead and read the image as we did. So I'm going to say cv2.im read. So this is what we did in the last row. So /images /image let me get that right, image one .jpg, right? I believe that's the name of the image. Okay, so once we have that image, you can simply go ahead and do a cv2.im show, and then we can call it image, and then we can just say you can display it right here. You can just go ahead and simply pass in the image that you want to display, and then you just say cv2 you can pass in the weight key, and then pass in 0 to weight until we press a key on our keyboard. Okay, so once we have this done, you can simply just go ahead and run it, and let's see if everything works. I'm going to say python 3 and then basic 2.py, and then simply run it. Now our image is open, so everything works as expected. So great. So now that we have everything working as expected, again, the article for this video can be found on Medium, and I've already written the article. It's going to be published soon. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is actually go ahead and simply learn how to resize an image. So to do this, actually very simple. So to resize an image, what you have to do, we have the image already open. So let's go ahead and simply try to resize. So I'm going to say resize underscore image, and this is going to be cv2.resize, and in here we're going to say resize, and we're going to go ahead and pass in the image that we want to resize, and then we pass in a tuple of the dimension that we want to resize. Okay, so let's say that you want to resize this image 300 pixels by 300 pixels. So we're going to say 300 by 300 for the height and 300 for the width. Okay, so that image is going to get resized. So I'm going to simply go ahead and simply display the resized image right here. So once we have this, I'm going to go ahead and simply run the code, and let's see what we get. So we have the image here. You can see the image is quite small, so it has been resized into this specific dimension. So the big image that we had has simply been resized down to this dimension, and that's how you can simply resize the image. So you just pass in the pixels of the height and the width that you want the image to be resized to, and then opencv will go ahead and resize the image for you. Yeah, so that's one way to resize an image. Another way to resize an image, and let me just show the other way. So let's actually go ahead and pass in here 0 and pass in here 0. So this is not going to go ahead, this is not going to resize the image, right? So you can probably guess okay, you can't resize an image to 0 by 0, right? So good. So this is basically the same as specifying none. Okay, and we'll come back to this in a second. So another way to resize an image is by passing the fy and fx argument. So this takes in a decimal number. If you say fy equals to 1 and fx equals to 1, then it's not going to resize an image, right? So let's go ahead and try to run the code, and let's see what we get. The image is not being resized. Okay, so xy and fx and fy, right, are actually taking decimal now between 0 and 1, whereby 1 means the absolute size of the image, and now between there means a resize. Okay, let's say that we want to resize an image to half. So let's just specify xy and fy and fx to be 0.5. So it's going to resize the image to half the current image size. So I'm going to go ahead and simply run this, and you can see we have resized an image to half its size, because you have on the x-axis you're going to resize to half 0.5, on the y-axis you're going to resize it to 0.5. At the end of time we get this right here. So good. So there are two ways that you can resize an image. Again, you can also go ahead and just specify here none. Instead of passing in a tuple of 00, you can just say none, and then you can simply run the code again. That should also be able to resize the image. Okay, good. So once we have that done, and I'll show you how to resize an image. Now let's learn how to, you can simply go ahead and crop an image, right? So cropping an image is just taking the specific region that you're interested in. In computer vision we call this ROI, region of interest. So ROI stands for region of interest. Maybe you have let me just bring back the image we had here. Let's just bring it back and explain to you something. So let's say that your region of interest is just the place where the kids are the two kids are. So you just want to resize this image, sorry, to crop this image to pick just where the kids are, right? And that you can do that, I call that your region of interest, ROI. So you can do that using image cropping, and that's the whole point of image cropping. So let's go ahead and actually go ahead and let me show you how to crop an image. So I'm just going to go ahead and I can leave this here and just, okay, let me just delete it, and for the sake of it, let me just delete it and bring back the original image right here. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable called cropped underscore image, and cropped image is going to be the following. So you can just simply say image, and then you can simply use the array slicing. So you can use the list slicing in order to be able to slice an image. Okay, so let's let me just show. Let's default, we can pass in two arguments here. The first is the height, and then the second is the width of that image. So let's say that you want to crop this image. For the height, you want to start from the top to 500 pixels. Let's say 500 pixels, and for the width you want to go from let's say okay, you know what, let me just bring back the original image. Let me just comment this line out for now, and let me just run the code so you can see the original image again. So we want, from the height, we want to start from up here, right up here. I just want to crop the place where these two kids are, right? So we're going to start from 0, right? So y is going to be 0, so we're going to start from there. And then for the egg, we want to go until this point right here, until around this point, which is about 500. You can see on the axis we have about 500. So just check at the bottom, that's where I'm getting the numbers from. So I want to go until around here, around 500, yeah, around until 500 and something. So 500 something for the y, and then for the x, we're going to start from here. Okay, so 0 and then to 500. That's going to be for the height, and for the x for the width, you're going to go until somewhere here, so around 1000. Yeah, around 1000, and then the other one is going to be around here, which is going to be around, I think, okay, let's just actually let's go ahead and actually specify these numbers and actually see what you want to do. So I'm just comment this out, and then I want to say from, let's say, 200 until I get the value to be 200 to about 1000, so 1000 there. And then at the end, you can just go and show the cropped images right here. So I can just go back and simply clear the terminal and run the code again. So you can see we crop that image right here until about this point, and then the x and the y until about this point. So that's basically how you can simply crop an image, right, to get the dimension of these two kids right here. So you can actually reduce this to be, if you don't want it to be 500, you can change those values about the height. So the first argument is for the height. So this one specifies the height, right, where you want to start from where to end, and this one specifies the width. So I think this one to be around 290 should be fine. Let's just tweak that a bit, and let's run this again. Now you can see we get back a better perspective. Okay, so that's how you can crop images in using OpenCV. Okay, so you can see all the other areas have been gone, and this is just a cropped version of that image. So great, and that's how simple it is to crop an image. If you want, you can display the images side by side, and then just get those two values. So you can say cropped image and the original image, and then you can display them side by side to see those values. Yeah, so that's how you can crop an image. Let's actually try to do that, to display them side by side. So I'm going to say I am sure. So I am sure here I'm going to say cropped. So this is going to be cropped image, and you're going to go ahead and display the cropped image right here, and this is going to be the image, and it's going to be the image itself. So let me just go ahead and simply run the code again, and run the code. So we have those two images to be there. So you can see these two images are there. So one is a cropped one, where we cropped of the kids, right? One is a cropped, and I think it's about until here. Yeah, about here. Yeah, so you can see one is of the cropped image, while the other one is the original image. So that's how you can simply crop an image, crop images in using OpenCV. So yeah, we got those dimensions and everything is fine. So I'm just gonna quit that out of there. Yeah, so now let me just show you how to rotate images in using OpenCV. So you can also learn to rotate images and stuff like that. So I'm just go ahead and simply go ahead and I can simply delete this as well. So let's go ahead and show you how to rotate images. So to rotate images, you can say I'm going to create a variable called rotated underscore images, rotated image, and it's going to be cv2.rotate. I think it's called cv2. Let me just remember the name of the function. cv2 is called cv2.rotate. Yeah, I got it right. So cv2.rotate, just have to check back a quick on my notes. So it's cv2.rotate, and then we can rotate it in different angles. So you want the first argument you have to pass in here is the image that you want to rotate. Image in this case is the variable img, where we read and store that image, and then you can go ahead and specify the rotate. So you have to say cv2.rotate. so use uppercase here. This is a constant, so rotate, and then underscore 180. So it's going to rotate the image through a 180 degrees in a clockwise direction. Okay, so I'm just going to go back here and simply run the code again. So go back in here, clear the terminal, and then run the code. So it actually didn't rotate the image, right, because we didn't display the rotated image. I forgot to do that, so I have to go here and say rotated. I have to be lowercase, so rotated image, and now that we run it, we should see the image being rotated at 180 degrees. So the image has been rotated in a 180 degrees direction. So great, that's how you can simply rotate an image through 180 degree direction. What if you want to rotate within other degrees other than 180? You can also go ahead and rotate it through a 90 degree clockwise direction. So you can say rotate, and then I can just say underscore 90 underscore clockwise. So this is going to rotate the image in a clockwise direction through 90 degrees. Okay, so once I have that done, I can simply go ahead in my terminal and run the code again. So you can see the image has been rotated in a 90 degree in a clockwise direction. And what if you want to also do this in anti-clockwise? You can also go ahead and specify the it's called counterclockwise. So just say counterclockwise, and that should rotate the image in a counterclockwise direction in a 90 degrees. Okay, so let me just go ahead and run this again, and you can see we have now been rotated in a counterclockwise. So there's a counterclockwise and counterclockwise. So I'll just go ahead and just exit this. So if I go back in here, I can just go ahead and copy this and then simply paste it again, and this should be in a clockwise direction. So now if you run the code, now let's go ahead and create another window to show the other code, and this is going to be let's say image this is going to be the counter. Okay, counter, and this is going to rotate image underscore counter. So I'm going to copy this variable, and I'm going to go ahead and use it right here. So I'm going to rotate our image in two different directions, one in a 90 degree direction and the other in a 90 degree in an anti-clockwise direction. So now if I run this, now we should go ahead and see those two images right here. So you can see those two images right here. Rotated in 90 degrees, one in a clockwise direction, another one in an anti-clockwise direction. Yeah, so that's basically it, how you can rotate an image, how you can resize an image, and how you can crop an image. So if you want to read more about this, I have also the article version of this tutorial, and you can find this on my Medium page. The link is going to be in the description below. So guys, kindly make sure that you follow me on LinkedIn as well, on Medium as well, because I'm also trying to grow my Medium account to write tutorials and stuff. And yeah, so guys, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please kindly consider subscribing, liking this video, and sharing this content to anyone who you think might find this helpful. Again, let me know if you have any suggestions or anything that I need to include, because I told you I'm making the videos based on you guys' suggestions. So anything that you think I should be added in this series, let me know in the comment section below. I'll do my best to add that to it. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Keep safe.